Hello everyone and welcome to an in-between video. We just finished Forbidden Memories, and while I'm preparing for the next big Let's Play, as it were, just a little filler video. This, if you can't tell, is Minecraft, and this is a little multiplayer server I host for myself and two friends. Right now we're in the Shed of Stuff, which is where the spawn point was, and down here, the bottom floor of the Shed of Stuff is where all the stuff actually is. Lots of chests. The floor down here is much prettier, and that's because this floor was done by PowerDork. The upstairs was done by me, which is why it doesn't look quite as nice. All the stuff is clearly labeled. The labels were my doing. They're very creative, very clever labels. This room in here is also PowerDork's doing. I don't know what it's for yet. I suppose I'll find out later. But now that you've seen the Shed of Stuff, which is where we get most of our items from whenever we're building near here, it's time to leave. Look at the outside of the shed. Clearly labeled the Shed of Stuff. There's a ladder to get you up on top. Nothing too impressive. And this, what we're looking at right here, this whole thing is the fortress that surrounds the spawn point. Just to be safe. Nothing can get inside except for people. If you think the player characters are people. This giant anime heart is something PowerDork made. And over to the left of the giant anime heart are the letters PD, which of course stand for PowerDork. The giant anime heart and the letters were early additions, before the fortress was even finished, I think. If we climb up this ladder here, we'll get to the top of a loft with a bed. This is not the intended way to get to this bed, but it serves its purpose when you get here quickly, and you don't have time to be dramatic. We'll go look at the proper entrance now. Because of course there's a proper entrance. You can't just enter a loft from a ladder on the side of the fortress. You gotta have something fancy. And right over here to the left is the entrance, the proper entrance to the loft. We enter the loft through Marshmallow Spire. Probably the first construction outside the Shed of Stuff, and inside you'll see there's a tiny waterfall closed off so no one falls in there like an idiot. Mostly me. Climb this ladder, and this is how we're actually supposed to get into the loft, which is named the Dizzy Loft because it's high. It's not very impressive on the inside, but it looks really good from the outside when you're looking upward at it. So it accomplished that much. And up here is the bed, as you've already seen. A little chest next to the bed, and curiously, to the right of the bed, there's a gate. And this gate is so you have easy access to the docks below. You can just jump down into the water, take the boat, and sail off into the distance. Since landing in water doesn't cause fall damage, that's actually perfectly safe. But do not do that in real life. It doesn't matter what's below you. You really shouldn't jump from distances that high. Over here is the Splendid Springs Cavern. This was a naturally formed cave with water in it that I expanded on. Built a little tunnel, and I hit my head on some dirt blocks that someone put here. I don't know why they're here, but I'll worry about that later. Anyway, at the end of the tunnel, there's not anything super... Someone removed the blocks from under the chest, too. And here at the end of the tunnel, nothing super special, just a really unimpressive fountain with a boat in the middle. That's all there is in Splendid Springs Cavern. Not very splendid springs. Maybe I'll expand on that later. But it was my... You know what? Let's put these dirt blocks under the chest. But it was the first natural thing I saw, natural cave I saw, so I wanted to make something out of it, even if it wasn't impressive. So I think we've seen pretty much everything inside the fortress. But there are, of course, several exits to the fortress. Oh, and in case you're wondering why there's no ceiling, that's because I think it would ruin the fortress vibe of the whole thing, and I like looking at the sky. Anyway, here's one of the first exits to the fortress. This one is a pupper. Let's take him with us. This one leads to the spooky cave and cobblestone generator. I think there's another dog in here. We have a lot of dogs. Let's take this one too, just because we can. You'll see there's actually an exit to the beach in here as well. But also you can just jump off the loft. Take or leave pickaxes and spooky cave are what these signs say. No one ever left any pickaxes, so they're all gone. And this way is the cobblestone generator. It's pretty self-explanatory. A lot of chests here specifically for cobblestone and pickaxes. because there's like one sheep on the entire island, and we're going to go get it, and we have to make sure it doesn't die, so we're going to build a giant cobblestone path all the way to the sheep, since it's the only one on this island, and we're surrounded by water. So who knows how long it'd take to find another one. And then here is the cobblestone generator. If you don't know how that works, when lava touches water, it makes cobblestone. So we break the cobblestone, lava touches water again, and it makes more cobblestone. Infinite cobblestone. I personally prefer actually going out to mine, but if you're just lazy, then this works. The reason the path is built out of glass is just because I thought it felt more dangerous that way. Because I'm a fan of danger, you know. In Minecraft, a game which I primarily play to relax. And this is Spooky Cave. It's a spooky cave. This is the second cave that I had found. And it's home to quite a few locations, such as a near-infinite lava source that's not actually infinite. Take or leave torches, it says. There are no torches here. Here's a jack-o'-lantern trapped in a cage that Power Dork made for some reason. Never quite inquired about that. But yeah, Spooky Cave is home to a near-infinite lava source, and more importantly, the Big Drop, which these signs will lead us to. There's some things in Minecraft that are naturally formed that I think are quite beautiful, and the Big Drop is one of them. It's also very deadly, though. It's quite a ways through here. I was just trying to mine, and I accidentally stumbled across it. Looked straight down at it. And it is indeed a very, very big drop. Maybe should have called it very, very big drop or huge fucking drop. Look at that. That looks beautiful down there. See all those torches down there? Power Dork did that. Power Dork also built this bridge. So yeah, it's mostly colonized now. But it's still rather beautiful, I think. There's a bat down there still. We're not going down there because I die. You can pretty much see it all from up here anyway. Alright, we're back in the fortress, and this time we're taking the other exit to the town square. And it does indeed look like a town square. It didn't at first, but now it does. This beautiful granite path made by my friend Draconic looks absolutely gorgeous. There's another cave right here. It was going to be a mine, but it turned out to be a cave because so many caves, and I just wanted to make a mine. There's so many caves. This fountain in the center is the memorial fountain for the founders, of which there are only 3. But every town square needs it. Hello. So I haven't played Minecraft in a while. Used to play a lot back in 2011, 2012. Bit in 2013. There weren't many zombies that ran really fast back then. I don't know when these were introduced. But they're a pain. And I usually don't craft swords or any kind of weaponry because all the spawn points are so close, so I just tank hits and die trying to punch everything. The others, you know, Draconic and Power Dork, they actually make weapons and use them effectively. Anyway, this is the town square. Fountain in the center, as all town squares should have. It's a very simple fountain, but, you know. And I guess on the back here, see, it's dedicated to Draconic, Power Dork, and that's my username at the bottom that changes very frequently. Over here to the right are the dog houses. This is Sparky's dog house right here. There's a big S on it. Sparky is the first dog we ever got. And as such, he got his own dog house. It's got a little pool in the middle, and there's a chest and for some reason, a crafting table in here. I'm going to take that sign and those doors. I need those. The thing about obsessively putting chests in every building is that sometimes you leave important things in there. And here's the second doghouse. This one is just called Doghouse. So I swear I saw a creeper. Anyway, this one's just called Doghouse. This one has 3 more puppers in it. The one with the yellow color is Austin. The one with the black color is Zeke, and the one with the white color is Jeffrey, with a G. These are the other first dogs we got. And as such, they don't move, because they have names, and when you name them, they can't die, because that would be too sad. Anyway, let's go over here to this, which I guess you could call the mayor's house if you wanted. That's what it's meant to look like. I really like the stone pillars in here and the way it mixes with the wood in the ceiling. I think it looks rather nice, especially the windows and the top. It's very, very pretty in here. It looks very very merry housey. I actually built this place entirely by myself. When I decided I wanted this place to be a town square instead of just a place with a bunch of trees next to the fortress. And the rest just kind of followed suit. Looks just as pretty on top, but you shouldn't really come on top. If you wonder why there's water at the sides, it's so you can jump off the building without hurting yourself. Because I'm not very good at leaving the proper way, as I'm sure my friends could tell you. Anyway, over here to the left, there's a path that leads out of the town square through the farms. The farms don't have a label, but they're clearly farms. The farms were made by Draconic, pretty much all the farms were. And again, this beautiful granite path, also made by Draconic. He did pretty much all of this work. Here's another of Draconic's farms, and we're coming up on his house right now. He keeps throwing bread at people. He wants everyone to have his bread. The inside of his house is very pretty. It's very, very unfinished, but it's very pretty. You know, it's minimalist. If he stopped here, I wouldn't complain. It looks good. But yeah, he keeps trying to throw his bread at people because he always has excess bread. If we follow the path further down the sand, we'll find the biggest structure that I'm currently working on, right over here. It's a little hut looking thing in the sand. Path leads right to it, called Shy Sand Temple. Really, really like working on this place. The entire thing is basically made out of sandstone. It did not naturally form this way. I had to dig up a lot of sand. I think the outside looks quite nice as well. There's another dog in here because, again, we have a lot of dogs. There's also melons in here that PowerDork put in here because PowerDork has a lot of melons, just like Draconic has a lot of bread. Anyway, again, you can see this is all sandstone. I had to do that manually. It took quite some time. And obviously the glass was done manually, but I wanted people to be able to see the lava, because the lava looks rad as hell. Anyway, this is pretty much all I finished of the Shy Sand Temple. Everything past this door right here is a work in progress. There's more chests and crafting tables, and over here there's more water and lava. I'm gonna put doors here. No. I'm gonna put doors here, so that way I actually remember to do something about all the water and lava right here, eventually. I have to do something with it. That's why we stole those doors. That's why we stole them. Yeah, you can see there's lava in here. It's just kind of flowing out of the ceiling. Figure out what to do about that later. There's an empty space right here where a bed should go. And down here is the mine. And we're going to use this sign to mark the mine. Find a more clever name for it later. But yeah, down here is the mine. Finally found a place to mine that is not also a cave, which is quite pleasant. And all that back there, that's just stuff that's not finished yet. Don't worry about that. Now that we're out of the temple, we're going to go look at PowerDork's house over to the right. PowerDork's house is the prettiest house, but that's kind of a running theme here. PowerDork's house also has the boathouse attached to it, which you'll see shortly. It's got a stone bridge, and there's a boathouse sticking off the bridge. There's a lever that opens the door, but we'll check out the boathouse after we actually go inside PowerDork's house. PowerDork's roof has quite a few things on it as well, but we'll check those out in a bit. There are a lot of ways to go down through the roof. This isn't even his front entrance. The clucking of chickens haunts my nightmares. The front entrance is right here, but nobody takes the front entrance. I gave PowerDork a single chicken, and before I knew it, there were so many chickens in here, and you know, I gave PowerDork one chicken as a housewarming present. I didn't expect it to turn into this. Anyway, PowerDork's house has multiple levels, which you might expect. There's a chemistry set thing over here or something. I don't know what this is, but we went to the nether to get it. And over here is PowerDork's bed and just a really pretty chest floor for some reason. The further down you go, the less stuff there is. But I assume Power Dork either has plans for all these rooms, or Power Dork just thinks they look nice. I don't remember those melons hanging from the ceiling being right here. What kind of block is that? The brightness is turned down kind of low. I'll ask about that later. It's really weird, though. I didn't notice these yellow blocks before. But yeah, the further down you go, the less there is, but it's still very pretty in here. Definitely the prettiest house. I don't know if I can make anything prettier than Power Dork. What's this little hole? Anyway, I don't know if I can make anything prettier than Power Dork, but I can probably make something deeper. Like, physically deeper, not emotionally deeper. But I'm sure I could make something emotionally deeper, too, if I tried hard enough. Just have to bullshit it a little bit. Have to read way too much into it. I mean, Power Dork knows how to make an actual anime heart in Minecraft, and all I could do was make the letters PD out of stone. So it'd have to be some sort of abstract art. And I'd have to tell my friends it means something really obscure and stupid that they couldn't possibly disagree with. This stone block represents my depression. Alright, I do believe I promised we would go to the boathouse, but first let's look on Power Dork's roof. There's a farm up here, because of course there is, and Power Dork has so many melons. I've gotten kind of lazy. I haven't really done much farming personally because Draconic and Power Dork both have farms. There's like no reason for me to bother with that at all. Like, no reason. For all I know, I'm completely useless in this scenario, but I built at least as much stuff as they have, so if we're going in terms of things built, then I'm pulling my own weight, because that's how you measure how helpful you are to other people, is how many projects independent of their own that you've made, right? Anyway, here's the boathouse. There's another dog in a boat here, because we have too many dogs. Fun fact, oh, what's in this? Nothing, I guess. Fun fact, if you want to get a dog out of a boat, you have to actually break the boat. You have to break the fucking boat. Because in spite of Minecraft being officially released quite some time ago, it's still a mess. It's a beautiful mess, but it's still a mess. There's a bed right here. It's kind of sitting out in the middle of nowhere. Now that we've defeated the night with the power of sleep, we can see that this dock that we sailed to says adventure is here. And in the chest, that's where all our torches went. They're all in this chest. And some fucking string I didn't even know we had. I want that. Because string is the only way we can make wool right now until we get that sheep. The one sheep on the entire fucking island. Anyway, this huge bridge, which has an arch in it, so that way boats can sail under it in the middle. By the way, there's an arch right here. But this huge fucking bridge is constructed entirely for this island over here, where there's a really complex cave system that we're not going to look at because it has not been colonized in the slightest. But yeah, the reason there's a chest in bed so close to it is because someday I want to explore that huge fucking cave system. Now we've actually pretty much seen everything there is to see that we've made on this island, that Draconic, Power Dork, and I have made on this island where we started. But I wanted to see, because we seem to be surrounded by so much fucking water, I wanted to see how far out you'd have to sail to get to a different biome, to get to someplace new. Just hop back in the boat. Let's do a cut. Actually, I almost forgot something really important. There's one other exit to the fortress up here, and the sign just says exit on it, but out here, there's actually the makings of a whole fucking castle. It's not nearly finished yet, but the important part, the fancy front, is finished, and the bottom floor is finished. The bottom floor has the mine and a chest. The mine is accessed through these two trap doors, and of course there's polished granite around the trap doors, because I'm not a heathen, okay? This is a castle. Even the mine has to look pretty. We climb up top. You can see I put a lot of effort into making the floor a nice pattern. And right here there's a fountain. The fountain is made out of diorite and white concrete. The white concrete was a gift courtesy of Power Dork, and there's a bed next to the fountain because I like the idea of sleeping next to running water. It's just very soothing. That's why that bed's there. Anyway, not nearly finished. If you get all the way on top, you get a pretty good view of most of the island. Pretty much everything we built so far. Need to get rid of all those trees eventually. Powerdork's a real pyromaniac, by the way. Burnt down half the trees. I'm not even joking. Powerdork was like, hey, come watch these burn with me. So, you know, watch out. Watch out for that. I'm just saying. If you ever run into Powerdork in real life, just, you know, maybe don't give Powerdork matches or anything like that. Don't let Powerdork cook. Anyway, we're gonna go shovel our crap and chests down here, so that way I won't have anything on me. Because as I said a little bit ago, I sailed to see how far away you'd have to go to get to another biome. Because we've done pretty much everything on this one island. So I built that dock next to the Dizzy Loft, over by the beach. And I built that dock specifically to go see how far away other biomes were. So we're going to go jump off the loft and take a boat. And we're going to go sailing for a long-ass time. Because the nearest biome is like fucking 5 minutes away. And most of that 5 minutes is entirely in one direction too, so... yeah, it's a bit of a long sail. Eventually going to have to build a bridge there, but that's a project for far in the future. Let's get in the boat. And if I remember correctly, this way is toward the lighthouse. I made a lighthouse so that way I would, as a marker, so that way I could more easily see the land around us. Excuse me, Mr. Squid. And my render distance is set pretty low because I am running this on a really shitty laptop, when I should be playing it on the new computer that runs PS4 games pretty much. But playing Minecraft on Windows 10 is surprisingly hard, okay? It's a lot harder than it looks. Where's the lighthouse? I swear, yeah, there it is, okay. That's the lighthouse, and it doubles as a watchtower because I partially built it so that way I could more easily navigate the water, and partially so that way I could look around and see how much water there was, how fucked we were. And as you'll see when we actually get up here, the answer is pretty fucked. But I'll get out of the boat and climb the ladder so you can see for yourself. The tower is made out of dirt. Got some coal in here for some reason. The tower is made out of dirt because I was trying to conserve resources, and you know, this place doesn't need to be fancy, it's just a waypoint to other places. I mean, I already wasted a fuckload of wood building all the ladders, so we're nearly to the top. And as you can see, in all four directions, it's fucking water everywhere. The ocean's like fucking infinite. So after I built the lighthouse and I was like, god damn, there's water everywhere. Do other biomes even exist? I had to find out, you know? So I just, I went over here, over this way, and I built a dock. And you'll see right here, this sign says Stormy Sands. I did eventually find a biome. After sailing, let me turn around, after sailing this way for fucking ever. It is a long sail to the Stormy Sands biome. A long fucking sail. But it is an entire biome, and it seems to be enormous. It's a huge desert biome. It's just, have to sail through so much ocean to get there. But now is actually a good time for a story. I really like Minecraft because there's not a lot of other games like it, where you just go into a almost completely modifiable world with friends and build structures and survive together. You know, your own little world to explore. And every world is different, and nobody's going to build the same things. At least, not exactly the same things most of the time. It's pretty much the only online multiplayer game I can handle, because it's about cooperation, and it's about building and surviving together, which is something I can get behind. It's not really about survival after you get like, what, 10-20 minutes into the game, but the building stuff with friends part, that never really gets old for me. Really, the only reason I hadn't played Minecraft in so damn long is because there's nobody that wanted to play it. There's like this weird half-stigma around Minecraft in some places for some reason. And I'm not quite sure why that is, but whatever. It's also, I don't think I've ever actually talked about it on the channel until that one joke video recently, because there's not a lot of game design in Minecraft, really. At least not a lot that needs discussing. Most of it is right on the surface, like the hunger meter and such. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of mechanics, but it's such an open game that it doesn't have game design in the sense that I usually talk about it. Anyway, we still got a lot of sailing to do. It's time to tell a story. Just earlier today, I remembered that I downloaded Castle Miner Z some years ago, which was a Minecraft clone available on the Xbox Live Indie Game Store. And I didn't really like it when I first bought it. I was not a fan. But I feel like I might have been approaching it in the wrong mindset. Yes, it is a blatant Minecraft clone, but I was also playing it single player, and the single player option is the farthest option down on the menu. I think it's even below the actual options button. But I installed and started it up again earlier tonight, and I joined someone's game because Castle Miner Z actually has an excellent multiplayer function. You just click a multiplayer in the menu, and it instantly shows any games anyone anywhere is hosting. And assuming the room is not locked, you can just kind of join them. After getting kicked out of one of the rooms, I joined another room where nobody really said anything. But nobody kicked me, so I'm like, alright, this is fine. And I go around mining, and mining, and mining, and mining some more. And I'm like, what do I do with all this shit? So I went up after a lot of fucking mining, and I found this one dorky guy named Flax. And I just started giving all of my materials to him. And, you know, he didn't, like, get angry or anything, or kill me, or shove me away. He seemed grateful for the materials. Every time I threw materials at him, he jumped up and down. He didn't type anything in the chat, but he seemed grateful. So I would keep doing that. I would go down and get materials and come back up. Oh, hey, look, some sand. I would go down and get materials and come back up and give them to him. And before I knew it, he built a shelter. And he actually built a shelter for both of us. Actually let me in the shelter and made sure to build enough room for 2 people and let me in when there was no door, because there was no fucking door at first. But before I knew it, he built an entire shelter for both of us, and the feeling of just being able to start up a game like that and have an instant symbiosis with someone, that's not something I've gotten from really any other game. And you can't do that in Minecraft because Minecraft's multiplayer sucks ass unless you buy Minecraft Realms, which costs money. And Castle Miner's only $4. Anyway, we're here. This is the Sandside Fortress. After many hours of moving... Oh, the boat's sinking. That happens sometimes, don't worry about that. We'll just punch it. Anyway, after many hours of moving materials back and forth across the large ocean, was able to build this place, because this is a desert biome. There's not a lot of fucking trees. But anyway, this is the Sandside Fortress. It works. No monsters are getting in here. There's a little farm right here, very tiny farm. It's a furnace, a chest, all the things you need to basically survive right here. But if we go deeper in eventually, through these 2 doors, because I was really paranoid about creepers, you'll see that the fortress has a back half with a glass ceiling and a bed, and over here's another cobblestone generator, because again, this is a desert biome. There's not a lot of resources. It took fucking forever to build this fortress because this biome is so, you know, sparse. It's a desert. But I did it. And eventually, I'm gonna colonize this whole fucking place. All of this huge, irritating desert. But we're probably gonna have to build that bridge first. And a minecart. Anyway, this is all we made in this server so far, but I wanted to upload something while I was waiting for the next big Let's Plays preparations to finish, so see you then.